center field. Back toward the track. And that ball is gone.
You are listening to the North Shore 9 podcast. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Also, make sure to watch NS9 Live every Thursday on Twitch and help support by becoming a patron. Let's go Bucks!
Yo, welcome to NS9 Live. I am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have ourselves Jim Rosati and Tyler, a.k.a. Wagner to Hopeless. What's up, fellas?
Football starting, buddy.
Just here so I don't get fined.
Okay, Marshawn. Let's get them Skittles.
Touche.
How about that? Football season is upon us. Tonight's the first game. I don't know. Do you guys have any rooting interest in tonight? Any fantasy specials?
I have a rooting interest in both teams scoring over 54 points.
But Tyler, I have a strong rooting interest in the over. And then I do have Mahomes and Tyreek Hill that I got a double dip on. So
yeah, I have Tyreek in my fantasy league as well. Jim, do you feel like the over is just a guarantee tonight?
I looked at it and I was shocked. I was thinking it was going to be. I mean, it's still a pretty high over under, but I was thinking it was going to be higher. I feel like the offenses too are just going to be ahead of the defenses.
Yeah, they have not tackled.
Yeah, I think this breaks 60 at least, maybe even more.
God, I hope so.
I mean, even me, who doesn't, pay much attention to football these days, I feel the same way. As I was discussing, at the beginning of the season, I felt the pitchers be ahead. I mean, the offense has to be ahead of the defense, right? Especially with no preseason games happening, just going right out there on the field playing. I would take the over if I was a betting
literally
man.
No chance that Andy Reid has practiced tackling this off in their little practicing.
Yeah, no way.
No way. Is he going to let him tackle Tyreek Hill? No. There's no way it doesn't hit. No way.
Yeah, I agree.
So naturally, it's not going to hit.
Hammer the over.
Yeah,
Easy.
I have nobody on these teams, which probably doesn't mean. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. I do have one. I have Brandon Cooks.
Is sports gambling legal in Kentucky?
No, but across the river it is. So,
Would you make a trip across the river to place bets?
legally, if I want to do it legally, yes.
Okay. Okay. I gotcha. Because literally 5 minutes from my office is West Virginia. So if I legally want to place a bet, that's where I go.
Yeah, I can get to Indiana in 10 minutes. So
I can get to West Virginia in 10 minutes as well.
It says
Do I go over there to place a bet? No.
It says 2020 perfectly. And not in the sense of terribleness, but just technology and where we are in the world today. So we're a Pirates podcast and all of us talking about how none of us live in Pennsylvania. I mean, actually think about that.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't change anything. It's not as if we're less knowledgeable or informed because
it makes it more pathetic.
we actually are less knowledgeable because we don't get to listen to the fan just on
I actually do.
on radio.
I am close enough to listen to it.
technically speaking, though, if you wanted to, you could. There is an app.
No,
where
I
you
listened
can
to it
listen.
on my way from work, and I made it 3 minutes and shut it off.
So, I mean, I guess you are correct, Jim. We are very less knowledgeable and unfortunate to not have that on our radio waves. But if we wanted to, again, technology based, we could.
I mean, radio.com. If you want to listen to
Yeah, that's what I was
Colin
thinking.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Or, you know what? Maybe you should go to radio.com, listen to the Pony.
I've listened to Pony before on radio.com.
Yeah, there's a cheap little plug to a throwback.
There you go.
Or you could just listen to him here on North Shore 9.
Why not? Just go back a few episodes. Hey, I just
Exactly.
want to say, he announced he was on what, Jim Rohn? Rome's Burning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are we not the stepping stone to people's careers? Is it not proven? Did we not just
Touche.
show that? The number one
So
Pittsburgh
bas-
Pirates podcast is the stepping stone for your career.
Yeah, so just come on North Shore 9 and you'll be on Jim Room is Burning next.
There you go. That's it.
Still waiting on my call up.
We should be Palin guests. The phones are off the hook.
We could do Jim Rosati is Burning.
Oh, God.
Actually, as a matter of fact, Bucko Mike is literally burning right now because he's calling us out for not listening to him. So just so he knows we're listening to him. Hi, honey.
We do listen.
And also, he wants us to talk about the 17-year-old Venezuelan pitcher that we use the Dyson money for. Trust me, Bucko Mike, I'm on the show tonight. You know we're talking about that international money, so we'll get to you. But
Did we talk about this in the group chat?
It was mentioned. Yeah.
Isn't that enough?
We'll mention it. It's like the only Pirate news we have tonight. So,
I'm going to be dead by the time the guy is a major leaguer.
Well, why don't we start off with this? So a couple topics, as you see on the screen here, Clemente Day and the Steelers season upon us. We have a little fun thing we'll talk about that deals with Pirates players as well. But I guess we should kick it off. Yesterday was Roberto Clemente Day. With that said, all the Puerto Rican-born players wore 21 yesterday, and the entire Pittsburgh Pirates wore 21 yesterday. Big tribute to Roberto Clemente. I just want to kick this off and say this too. If you guys didn't see that Pirates video, that was pretty legit. I thoroughly enjoyed that video. And I don't think there was any talking or anything for like the first minute and a half of it. So yeah, check that out if you didn't. But yeah, so yesterday was Roberto Clemente Day. The Pirates didn't do any justice on the field production-wise, but they all wore 21. And we're talking about our group chat here. We had a little behind-the-scenes discussion. And the discussion was based on, you know, the entire Pirates team wearing 21, which is actually
it was based on Jim's tweet.
Did Jim tweet it? Oh, yeah, he did tweet it. That's right. And then I asked him about it. You're right, Tyler. That's what kicked it off. So, but with that, I did put out a poll today. So I just want to bring that up here. So the poll was, did you enjoy seeing every player on the Pirates wearing number 21 last night? The people who voted, 87% said yes. 13% said no. So what I want to do is kick this off and transition this. Let's go ahead and let Jim take this over because, again, this was sparked by him. What are your thoughts on everyone in Pittsburgh wearing 21?
Yeah, so I guess I kind of started it last night. I wasn't really sure how to feel about it at first. And then kind of as the game was going on, I really didn't like it. And my reasons for that are, first off, it's not 20, but 21's not like a lot of other retired numbers out there, right? So every other retired number, you've got a player, they play a long time, they retire. Then maybe 10, 15, 20 years later, their team retires their number. Right? Mm-hmm. 21's a little bit different for the Pirates. Like Roberto Clemente wore 21 almost his entire career. Then he died as an active member of the team. And then no one wore that number again, ever. So since 1972, that number's never been worn by a Pittsburgh. That's 48 years ago, right? So it's a little different than just like earning a rate out of retirement. I think everybody listening that kind of knows Clemente is just a different type of. he's different than just other great players in this world. So that was kind of my thing. Is it felt weird because for 48 years no one's ever worn this number, right? Right. And I don't know. I felt good with that. Like I didn't need to see anybody wear this number. And it kind of also made me a little upset that we do finally get to this point where we're like, okay, let's go ahead and have this and have everybody do it. And it's this team that's doing it. It's this pathetic team where no one on this team probably deserves to even wear it. There's a few people, but it's a dreadful team. So it just rubbed me the wrong way. It kind of felt more like more PR type thing than it was an honoring thing at first. So that was my initial thoughts on it. I didn't like it. Now, I will say my opinion's a little bit skewed after they interviewed Roberto Clemente Jr. On the broadcast yesterday. He did kind of feel like it was a really big deal and a big deal to just really everybody in Puerto Rico. Like he saying that this was a big deal for people down there. So I guess you can kind of look at it two ways. One, I don't really need to see a Pirate wear 21. I think there are other ways to honor Roberto Clemente. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to do it. But at the same time, it did feel like that just based off of based off of his son's interview, it was something that that was felt by the Puerto Rican people. So I guess that's at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. You know, it's honoring Clemente and honoring and kind of who he was. So I've got mixed emotions on it. I'm not like all in on this was great. My emotions are a little mixed on it.
Fair. Tyler?
Told you guys yesterday I couldn't give a shit less what they do. No, like it didn't bother me either way. There probably could have been better ways to do it, but if I'm gonna be honest, I shut it off after 3.5 innings because the Pirates were making me so disgusted. So something happened to my speaker?
No. I mean,
No, you're good.
you're good.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Well, anyhow. You guys are arguing about it. I wasn't.
So you're more
Because
like indifferent.
My biggest complaint was that I don't even know these guys' numbers as is. So when they're at the plate all wearing 21, I don't know who the hell is who.
Got you.
But basically what Jim says correct. Like these guys are not dudes to honor him.
And I got to say, it was funny because when I saw Jim's tweet initially, of course, I put it in the chat and I was like, thoughts. I want to hear your point because my initial reaction was, why? Why would anyone not like this? And according to the poll, as mentioned, it was 87% that said, they enjoyed it. I would have been part of that 87%. I think, it's Roberto Clemente. They're honoring him like it should, There's a lot of people, and we'll get to this in a second. There's a lot of people supporting the, retire 21 across baseball. So I can only imagine like this is a great way of honoring Roberto Clemente. Why not? But then once you started talking, Jim, and giving me that insight of it, I was like, you know what? I get that. You swayed me in like a big picture. Again, just like off the rip, that seems like it's a very good thing to do. But hearing that side of it, it's like, you know what? Yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, what if, and we're going to play the what if game, but it's like, what if Aroldis Chapman was on the Pirates, right? Do you really want Aroldis Chapman wearing number 21? Like, do you really want him? Are they the same? Is that really an honor? Like you said, it's kind of like a PR stunt to that degree.
Right.
And I feel that now, I mean, sure, it's a good thing, but I think there are probably better ways of doing it. And I think that's where we're at now. So yeah, it's kind of cool. It is very meaningful. I'll say this too. Just in conversation and talk, I've worked with another person too. Is actually a friend of mine right now who's actually a Cardinals fan, but Puerto Rican. He showed me, he took a picture today. I talked to him about this or that or whatever. Just randomly sent me a picture today of him wearing a Pirates Clemente shirt that he bought as a Cardinals fan. And I knew another friend I used to work with before who, is a little bit older, but I want to say like maybe right now he's maybe like 44, 45-ish. So you can't really say he's watched Roberto play, but he's from Puerto Rico and like it meant so much to him about Roberto Clemente. He talked my ear off about Clemente back in the day when I worked with him. So just knowing a few people from that culture, it's like I kind of see the part he plays in Puerto Rico. So like I get that, and the fact that they had like everyone who's Puerto Rican wear number 21, I like that. I think what I'm at too is with you, Jim. did we really need to see everyone in Pittsburgh doing it? I mean, I guess he's from the Pirates, but I think there's certainly a better way of doing this. What are your thoughts? What do you think that they could have really, really, truly honored Roberto Clemente on this day around baseball?
Yeah, so I think I like the patch, like, so, and like you mentioned before, all the Puerto Ricans wore 21. I know some of the some of the Roberto Clemente Award, nominee got permission to wear it as well. So that kind of stuff I like. And we kind of, did a little bit of talking here beforehand, but I think the ways that you honor him are, if you want to bring more attention to, first off, just what the Roberto Clemente Award is, right? I think it's something that you could do maybe throughout the entire season. Don't make it just a one-day thing. So, each team has their own Roberto Clemente Award nominee. Have something that player can kind of be identified and not necessarily show off, because obviously the people who are winning that award aren't doing it for the recognition. But do something so that every time you look and you're watching baseball that, hey, this person, he was the Roberto Clemente Award recipient for this team. So I like that. Like, so the White Sox wore a 21 patch on their sleeve. I like doing that. Like, maybe have that award winner for every team wear that 21 patch on their jersey for the entire year. So it kind of, it's like a badge of honor, right?
Right.
For them, and it's something that is obviously going to be meaningful and impactful for them, and everybody watching the game can then see, oh, here's so and so, he's the Roberto Clemente Award winner. That means he's done a lot of stuff for his community, done a lot of charity work, things like that. So I like that, like something that can be identifiable throughout the whole year. And then I do like the whole having the day, right? Having the day is great because it does, it is all about Roberto Clemente on that day. So having the day is great. Maybe on that day, have the award winners, like you said before we were on air here, maybe instead of just having the patch, the award winners that day can all wear 21. I don't really, but like I think going back to the Pirates is like, why do they all need to wear it? It's not like Pirates fans don't need to be like made aware of Roberto Clemente. We all really know what he did. But like I said, I think there are other ways to honor him. I don't know. Seeing all the Pirates wearing 21 was just weird to me. It was a turnoff. I didn't like it. And then, the whole time they're getting their brains getting bashed in by the White Sox. It's like, oh, okay, well.
As Tyler turns off the TV.
Yeah. I mean,
3.5 innings.
To go along with Tyler's point, you've got this team who, after 48 years, right, no Pirate has ever worn this number. So then they're finally going to do it after 48 years. And then they just get rocked by this team. Like, I mean? I don't want to see that. I just don't want to see that. So, but like, had Josh Bell been the only one wearing it yesterday, that would have been cool. Josh Bell as the award winner, he gets to wear it this one day. That I can get on board with. But yeah, the whole team, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't really want to see it.
Yes, I don't want to jump in, but maybe it's the fact that there's no fans right now that maybe just kind of made the cynical in me was like, just like Jim said earlier, it's a PR move, it looks like. But if they just wait one more year, like the crowd on Roberto Clemente Day, if they all wore the number, it might be a little different to me. Not only that, like you guys said, I love all the ideas you guys are saying about wearing the patch, whoever the Roberto Clemente Award winner wearing the number that day. I love that idea. It just came off a little bit, I don't know, too much PR move to me to really want to love it. This year's a weird year to do anything like that to me.
I mean, and I guess part of it is So from my understanding, this was more or less like Shelton's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
like
he
kudos,
kind of spearheaded the whole thing.
Kudos to him for this. All kinds of credit. I think both things can be true. Like, obviously, this was the intent of this, right? Very good, very thoughtful, well deserved on the Pirates organization, Shelton and such, right? But as we're saying, things can be improved upon with it. Optics are a big thing, and obviously with this, hearing that side, right, it does bring to light, that this could have been done better. Just think, like I mentioned, that video, how good it looked. Like, that video was pretty inspiring for as little of nothing that it was. Basically just the Roberto Clemente family throwing a baseball around, but it ends with like Josh Bell taking it, right? It's the baseball signed by Vera. He takes it and like walks away. And as you see, like you mentioned, Jim, like he was the winner, right? He's the Clemente nominee and such. Like, that's the guy for the Pirates. That's why he was in the video. To him walk away in the video, and then on the field, he is the one wearing 21, nobody else. So no one in Pittsburgh really needs to be reminded of Clemente, but it's not to say that it shouldn't be done. It's just like you're saying, I don't think everyone needs to wear 21 to do so. The attention is in Pittsburgh. They're having this event, they're doing all this. I think it would be very honorable had it been Josh Bell. Now, of course, we can talk about the play still, and it's not like his play would have honored Roberto Clemente by any means either. But there's a reason he's been nominated for this year in, year out. Like, what he does off the field as well, there's a reason. And it's like, to him to wear that in Pittsburgh, I think would be even like a greater thing for himself too. He's the guy that got to wear 21. He was in the video. He's the guy. Such a huge honor to him. And then again, spreading it around the league. So yeah, people in Pittsburgh don't truly need to be reminded. But then when, there's one guy wearing 21, he's got the patch the whole year, that can bring up that conversation, and that brings that awareness. Many people probably don't even know what the Roberto Clemente award is. They know who the MVP is. They know who the Cy Young is, right? What's the Roberto Clemente award? What does it even mean? And who is our nominee and winner and such? Like, no idea. So for like everyone on every team to wear the patch all year long, I think can help remembering, what he stood for, what he meant, and what these players are doing. With so much negativity, of course, as well in the world and such going on. Like, to have that remembrance and Roberto Clemente, and here's what we did, and let's all honor him today. I think that'd be a greater impact than literally everyone just wearing 21 for, like this day.
You know what might not have rubbed me wrong? Like, what I think they really, really, really should have done. You're telling me you can't pull Steve Blass out of retirement for one game? The one guy that you have that broadcasted, that played with him. If they would have brought Steve Blass out of retirement,
I don't want to put Blass on blast unless he had some obligation. That's stuff we don't know. But you are right. That would have been cool because he did come on the broadcast. I want to say just like 2 weeks ago.
He had they had the short video with him. I don't know if it was on the broadcast or on Twitter. I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff, but if they would have just brought him back for one episode, I would have watched the entire game just to let Steve Blass roll. Let him talk. Just tee him up and let him go. Which
I actually like that idea because then you could have basically you could have just told stories the whole time.
Yeah.
That would have been way more entertaining
than
watching the game.
Maybe some
or just bring other older players in. So
but I mean it's COVID, so I know it's a little.
Yeah, but you could have them join.
It's a little murky, but
we've had people join via Zoom call, on.
I mean, how many
Charles Hayes?
How many draft picks have they had on?
Right. Now I don't know
exactly.
if people like Bill Mazeroski can operate a Zoom call, but
but I mean,
it would have been cool. Like have Maz on there for a half inning, or I don't know how it's held right now. Yeah, I mean, have some of those guys who played with them on for a half inning and just tell a story. Now that would have been really cool. I just feel like the way they did it, I said, I get their intentions from like the players and the coaching standpoint. I just, the wearing the 21, it was weird to me.
Just to lighten this up a little bit here too. I gotta say this just because. But Bucko Mike just called me out, and this was such a terrible thing by me. And I guess there's a little selfless plug. NS9 Jeopardy coming back next month, right? Roberto Clemente was one of our question answers on NS9 Jeopardy, and I'm not sure if any of you guys saw or whatever, but yeah, I clearly put 24.
Oof. Is that why I saw like some tweet
in the
with
card
24 asterisk at some point?
Probably.
Or am I crazy?
Probably. The card. I mean, obviously the answer was given correctly, and Ryan saw what the answer was and said, "Well, this is correct." We didn't take the answer away, but I definitely had 24 on the card. So, yeah, what a way to honor Roberto Clemente, not even get his number right.
I wore 21 like throughout Little League Baseball because my dad wore it because he was a Clemente fan. So. Like I heard about Clemente my entire life and how my dad threw people out from right field because he thinks he's an athlete like me.
Natural born.
I'm the natural born athlete. He's an average athlete. But I mean, I think everyone around the area that's a Pirates fan with parents that were baseball fans heard about Roberto Clemente their entire life growing up.
Right.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
So
maybe speak a little, host.
I've been speaking. Any other last thoughts? Any other ideas or something we want to talk about before we go to the next topic here? Oh no, I think it was a good thing. It was a good thing. Right?
It's just weird. It's a little strange seeing all the same players were the same number. Even on Jackie Robinson days, sometimes I'm like, this is a little strange, but
yeah,
I get it.
I know what I say.
And I understand it completely. And I know if you're an African American player, you're probably so privileged to you feel like it's a privilege to wear that number. And as Puerto Rican players all over probably think the same exact thing.
Right.
But I don't know. Do the Pirates have a Puerto Rican player?
Well, that's what I say. I feel it should be limited to those, who won, right? Nominated for the award, and of course those who are Puerto Rican. I think that'd be a great honor for all parties involved. What I wanted to say, if I forgot, this is what I want to bring up. So, do you guys support? Are you in favor of retiring 21 among baseball?
No, I'm not.
No, Jim.
I think it just leads down a rabbit hole where we're going to start retiring a bunch of numbers.
I'm also a no. I think that is an honor reserved for Jackie Robinson and Jackie Robinson alone.
Yeah.
And there are other ways that you can honor someone like Clemente.
Yeah.
No, the Pirates have done a great job of honoring Clemente. We got a bridge. We got a 21-foot wall. We got an award. That's a fair point. There's a point where it's retiring the number just starts to go down a path where then the next group comes in. We want this number retired. Then DiNardo's out here yelling, "Where's my Italian? I want DiMaggio's number retired."
No, I want Soto's number retired already. Put it down. No, I mean, so I think on this part is where I'm indifferent. If it were to happen, I'd say kudos. It's cool, but I'm not the one who's advocating for it. I'm on the front line saying we gotta retire this and such because I do kind of feel you're like I said. If it happens, it happens and cool, right? But it's kind of what makes, of course, 42 so much more honorable in that sense. It is the only number retired. It's not that I want to take away from Jackie Robinson and I'm sorry. Well, that's what I'm getting to from Roberto Clemente, him being that, him having that number retired would be very honorable, this and that. And in a sense, it should be, But to a degree, it kind of takes away from Jackie Robinson now because like that's the mystique. That's part of Jackie Robinson. It's the number that's retired. He broke the color barrier, like everything that he did. And now to a degree, and this isn't just being the leftist or the, whatever, just like to a degree, it kind of minimalized a little bit. Now it's no longer the only number. There's another number, both very worthy of it. But I think you're right. 42 is retired. The mystique is it's the only number that's retired. So it stays the only number retired. Jackie Robinson's honored in that way. He has his own day. Everyone wears 42, right? Roberto Clemente can be honored in this manner. And here's what we can do for Roberto Clemente. And I think both of them can have their own separate ways of being honored very well, and not take away from anyone else. And I'm with you. Like, I would probably say no, but if it did happen, so be it.
Not bad for a city that did nothing but trash him while I was here.
All right. So we'll move on.
Older people know that I'm not lying.
So we'll move on. The Steelers season, well, as we mentioned, NFL is upon us. Steelers season's upon us. Tyler and Jim gave you the picks. If you didn't put the money on them yet, it's your loss. But let's go ahead and talk. Let's have a little fun here. There's some natural born athletes, not only on this show, but in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization.
No, I'm right here.
So we want to talk about it. Who on the Pittsburgh Pirates could play football? And I want to know too,
first pick.
What position?
I got first pick.
Yeah, we know who it is.
Go ahead, Tyler. You can pick
it's
first.
Anthony Alford. He actually played quarterback in college. Duh, I win. You guys can go ahead and pick your Brian Hayes, Josh Bell. He might be a good tight end. No, my guy actually played. I win. You're welcome.
Not in the NFL, though.
Yeah, but he played college football, so that's closer than anyone else did.
It's because they chose not to. They chose to go where the money was.
Like me.
And less CTE.
And him, athletes. I'm on the same level as Anthony Alford. We're athletes.
All right. Well, you took the easy pick.
Duh.
Lazy ass Tyler over here, right? So you're done. Let's move forward. Jim, you're next.
If I had to pick one guy, and another thing I will say is Anthony Alford is not on the active roster right now.
I don't care.
That
this question
pick should just be disqualified there because he's not an active Pirates player. So I'm going to go with Gregory Polanco. I think his size, his strength, he would make a pretty good football player. I think you could put him in a few different positions. I think you put him out at tight end. Be a good
Have
tight
you
end.
seen the guy run?
Yeah, he's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, have you seen him try to track anything ever? He looks like a baby giraffe still.
Yeah,
shout out Renee Cayo.
You put pads on him, he'd be good to go.
That's his problem, is he doesn't have pads.
Yeah, if he had pads, he'd probably get injured less.
There you go.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my
pick.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he's a newcomer, but I gotta say,
terrible.
Think about Brian Hayes as your wideout.
We just had a conversation about how fat he was.
No, he's not anymore. He's not anymore.
We did.
He doesn't have mama's home cooking anymore. He's thinned out.
But he used to be fat.
Yeah, he used to be fat. So did a lot of other people.
Not me. Natural born athlete.
So did Ryan Reynolds in that movie, and look at him now. So it's okay if he used to be fat. What are you? NFL is what are you doing for me lately?
That movie.
What's that?
What the hell movie are you talking about?
I forget. It's some chick flick.
Ryan Reynolds.
And I just saw a Ryan Reynolds.
Are you talking about the one where he starts? About where he goes back to his hometown?
Yeah. You love chick flicks. You would know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Isn't that it's a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. He comes home for Christmas. He wanted to get back with that, like his high school crush or something, didn't he? He's trying to impress her.
Girl from
and then he got all fat again, right?
No. He used to be fat.
No, he used to be fat.
Yeah, but didn't he she like destroyed him or something, and he went back to like eating.
Just friends.
Just friends. There you go.
Just friends. Yep.
Yeah, but isn't that what happened? Like, didn't she like destroy
No.
his heart or something? So he went back to eating and got.
No, he was fat. That he went.
He was
Skinny.
gonna go. He was gonna go back, have her fall in love with him, and then he was gonna dump her.
Yeah, it's got Anna
Oh,
Faris.
is that what it
girl.
was?
Yeah,
So
he
it was a
gonna,
revenge.
It was gonna be a revenge. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Would you just watch one rom-com?
So, anyways, back to Brian Hayes, who's not fat. Think about
Used to be.
this is what like Jim and I just talked about on Wednesday. I knew he was fast, but looking at him now, I didn't realize he was this fast. The dude's 6'2". He's got size. We know he's got elite defense, right? He's catching everything. He's fast. That size, that speed, everything, that combination. I want him at my freaking wide receiver. And I'm just tossing
Okay.
balls way up in the air. I don't care who it is. Just throw it as high as you can and as far as you can.
Okay. I got a dude that actually played college football.
Okay, well, not everyone can pick your one player, Tyler. There's more players we got to choose from. Just because you cry like a little baby. Oh, let me go first.
No,
let me
I
go
did
first,
not.
guys.
No.
Just because you
I'm
can't,
pretty sure
just
guys
because you
picked
can't
your
go
dudes.
to a theme park and get on any rides, Tyler, doesn't mean you get to go first every time.
I don't like going on rides.
You guys see Ethan's pick is Braxton Ashcraft, which is kind of just random. I don't know much about him other than he's not a very good pitcher.
So maybe he'll make a
Really?
good quarterback. You know what? Does he throw his sliders like a football? Maybe he would make a good
Maybe.
quarterback.
Okay. Let's just go back here. Never mind. I did answer first. With Steelers season starting up, which Pirates player would make the best football player? I responded within 30 seconds and said, Alfred, easy. Jim said, I'm going Polanco. And then Anthony decided to trash me.
Correct. So I didn't choose anything.
Well, yeah, you're dumb.
Well, who else?
It's on my
Who
fault.
else?
I got
Who
my
else
phone in my
do
hand
you
for
think
all
could play
times.
football? So you're next, Tyler. This is your snake draft you've been dying to have.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to me because I'm taking Adam Frazier. He's gritty. He's short. He's white, and he'd be a great New England Patriot.
He does
I
have
could
them.
see Adam
He does have them
Frazier.
thick forearms.
Frazier would be like that next Wes Welker. Yeah, I could see that.
Duh. He's from some school nobody cares about.
Well, he's actually from a pretty big football school.
Yeah, but
so.
like they don't really care about it. Some random white guy. That sounds great. Easy, Jim.
Jim doesn't know.
What are we saying?
You're next.
You're
I gotta
right.
name another one.
Anyone else? Name someone
Oh,
else.
God. Okay, I'll go. So we're doing like a snake draft here. So actually we're not doing a snake draft. So outside of Polanco, I'm gonna do. I think Gerard Dyson would have been a good pick before he got traded. So,
Not too bad he got traded.
So without Dyson, I'll go with the next Dyson-like player in Cole Tucker. Put him out there. Get him in space.
He's a pussy. He ain't getting hit.
What position would he play?
The guy's afraid of the wall. He ain't gonna.
Cole
go
Tucker,
across the
he'd be a like a halfback.
Got you.
He'd be a running back.
Are we drafting positions here?
No,
No, we're
just
just drafting
players and
players.
naming them.
Yeah.
All right,
Ethan
what are we
mentioned
drafting
something,
for?
and I just want to say this, Ethan. I do agree with you, but I'm gonna pick this player as my next one just because to me it's even more obvious. Like, how has no one picked Josh Bell yet? The guy's from
Yeah, that'd
Texas.
probably be a
You know,
decent one.
football's in his blood. The dude's
It's
stacked
not,
like a
though.
linebacker,
But it's not.
huh?
You know he's the dude that's giant. And when he was a freshman in high school, the football coach came to him and was like, you should play football. You could be a great tight end. And he decided to be, nah, I think baseball is my sport, because that was pushing him towards baseball. And then all of a sudden it worked out for him and he never looked back.
Yeah, so you're proving my point. See, the thing is, you picked your guy because he played college football. But the thing is, our guys could have been better at college football than your guy.
But your guy
They
never
just didn't play
played football.
I don't care. Neither did Antonio Gates.
I do.
Neither did Antonio Gates. Silence. The crickets.
Antonio Gates route. I got you. Don't worry.
So I'm picking Josh Bell because he's going to be an elite linebacker for my squad.
Okay. Great.
Any others?
Anything else to add on that?
Any others?
No, I got mine. How many rounds are we going here?
I don't know.
Pirates don't have that many athletes.
Let's go another round then.
All right. Well, great. My tight end, Jacob Stallings. Just mentioned Antonio Gates. Jacob Stallings, his dad's basketball coach. You think Jacob Stallings didn't play basketball growing up? He go play tight end for me.
See,
He's gonna go snag that ball out of the air like it's nothing. Easy.
I like the connection.
Why I win fantasy sports.
I like the connection, but I question you. There's a reason Antonio Gates was good in the NFL. I'm not quite sure if Jacob Stallings could dunk.
Oh, I'm sure he could. What?
That's a legit question. Even at 6'5", I went to high school with a kid 6'6" on the basketball team who couldn't dunk. So
you had a terrible athlete as a teammate.
Even at his size, I question if he has the athletic ability to dunk the basketball.
DiNardo, you can't dunk the basketball.
Not now.
Never could.
Please.
DiNardo's the same guy that talks about the time he was a junior in high school and missed the rebound. And he got ripped about it because he got called up from JV as a junior in high school.
That's the guy who said he can hit off of
Yeah. Natural born athlete right here. DiNardo, on the other hand, couldn't grab a rebound.
Whatever. Jacob Stallings, terrible pick. Go ahead, Jim.
I think Stallings is an awful pick. Terrible pick.
I think you're an awful pick.
I'm going to go with somebody who's no longer in the organization.
I think we should have drafted Rum
Wait,
Bunner.
what are we doing here?
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. We're gonna go outside the organization. He used to be in the organization, though. Now he's the third base coach for the Cincinnati Reds. I'm talking about ex-Pirates catching prospect, ex-West Virginia Mountaineer quarterback, J.R. House. I'm going J.R.
That's not fair. The dude holds records in West Virginia for passing yards.
No, he doesn't.
He did.
I don't think so.
Well, then.
But I'm just going to go J.R. House.
Do you want to bet on that fact?
Screw all of you guys.
I'm not going to bet on.
I'm going with Dick Grote then, if that's what we're doing.
Yeah, for real.
Dick Grote played basketball. He wasn't football.
I don't care. True. He's a hell of an athlete. I'm sure he could play football.
What about Mark Ferris, 1993?
Jesus.
First round pick, Mark Ferris. He went and played quarterback for Texas A&M afterwards. Hayden Hurst, fantasy tight end.
I'm aware who. Yes, I'm aware.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, I'm trying to think of the tight of Baltimore.
I mean, good Lord, you might as well let me pick that Boyd quarterback dude that threw for the Atlanta Braves or something.
This is unfair.
Well, just
then I'm gonna finally listen. This is a steal of the draft because I'm gonna finally go now with Ian's pick or Ethan's pick that I mentioned.
No, dude. No, don't speak yet. Hold on. J.R. House currently holds the West Virginia prep records for total offensive points of the season. Total offensive yards.
You said WVU. You didn't say West Virginia high school records.
That's what I said. He holds West Virginia records.
West Virginia
when you
records.
Say West Virginia, I thought you meant like WVU because he definitely doesn't hold any records at WVU.
I know he didn't play. You know what? I'm drafting Omar Jacobs.
Okay. Can I finally have
We're
my
all
pick?
cheating, so what's the matter? No.
I'm picking Joe Musgrove now. That's my quarterback.
Right, well, if Tyler's drafting people, then I'm just going Deion Sanders. He played against the Pirates a few times.
Ooh, Kenny Lofton. I bet he'd make a good
Kenny
one
Lofton
too.
would
And
be
Reggie
good.
Sanders.
Okay, just.
Hell,
I
throwing
think his name was
Xavier
Shane.
Nady.
No, you cannot ever mention Xavier Nady's name.
By the way,
again.
shout out to Tim
My-
Shady. Wish DiNardo was actually
Xavier
like Ricky
Nady.
Williams and just quit while he's in his prime.
Jumbo Diaz.
He would make an elite left tackle.
Yep. Mike Fetters. Remember Mike
Mm.
Fetters?
I'm just gonna draft Tom Brady because the guy got drafted by the Expos. Russell Wilson, Johnny Manziel, Ricky Williams.
Tim Tebow.
That might be a pick I pass on.
I would have.
That's funny.
I would have thought Tyler to be a huge Tim Tebow fan.
Love Tim Tebow.
You would.
Yeah, because he won me a lot of fantasy games.
Oh. Well, I guess I could see that. I never drafted him because I was never
Because-
dumb enough to. So I guess when you're dumb
I
enough
didn't.
to draft Tim Tebow and you
Yeah, I
get
didn't.
lucked into those points, you would like him.
I'm sorry. Did you have Tim Tebow the year that he just had a bunch of fourth quarter comebacks?
I did not.
No.
I didn't
I did.
value 12-point fantasy quarterbacks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had a 2 quarterback league because I play in elite leagues, not like DiNardo.
All right. Do we have any other players or can we watch real football now?
I'm ready to
I
watch
don't know.
real football.
What time's real football start? Like 20 minutes?
26
25
minutes.
minutes.
Jim, you got any other picks for us?
What about? Oh, you mean just like other draft picks?
Yeah. No. I'm talking about gambling.
I
That's
haven't
all I
looked
care
at I haven't looked at the rest of the games this week.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I will say I'm actually going to a sporting event this weekend. Louisville, Western Kentucky,
They're playing.
college football, 8 p.m. on ACC Network.
Wow.
I would like to.
I'm one of the lucky 12,000 fans that are going to be there.
I would like to announce my 2020 fandom to the Pitt Panthers because my Buckeyes aren't playing.
True.
I got nothing else to root for, so
All right. Well, then why don't we do this? Before we go, Tyler, what is your lock of the week?
oh god.